Egypt is threatening Ethiopia over the filling of the Nile Dam. This has been a topic of conversation for years now, but in recent years it's getting more and more heated because the Nile Dam in Ethiopia, which is called GERD, the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, since it was built and finished and it started filling, the issues has risen again. We have been covering the story even before the escalation when Donald Trump was the president of US. He even made a comment about blowing it up. He was on a call with the Sudan leader and he literally just said something that goes against the international law. He said Egypt can blow up Ethiopia's dam, and he said it twice. It was not a mistake. He repeated, and he also said, he added that he's been saying this for a while, like it's nothing, like this is a leader of United States of America, one of the powerful nations in the world that pride themselves for being diplomatic and democratic. Watch his video and we'll come back.
We are going to be signing numerous countries in the not-too-distant future, so that'll be great. While you are on the phone, could I ask you, how is the dam doing in Ethiopia? The largest dam in many, many years being built. Unfortunately, it stops water from flowing into the Nile, which causes Egypt a little bit of a problem, right, as it should. But Ethiopia built a dam. You know all about it probably, Bibi, but I've been dealing with Sudan on that. And I'm just curious, how is that going? Because you're really the third party involved with Ethiopia and Egypt and the dam. Are they working out their deal? Because I had a deal done for them. And then, unfortunately, Ethiopia broke the deal, which they should not have done. That was a big mistake. And we've stopped payment to them of a lot of aid because they did it. And they will never see that money unless they adhere to the agreement. But they built a dam which stops water from flowing into the Nile. And you can't blame Egypt for being a little bit upset, right? How are they doing with that? Do you know?
Well, I think they need a lot of help to resolve it.
Yeah, no, I was actually talking to Sudan, baby. Talking to the chairman, talking to the prime minister. How are you doing?
Yes,
You may not want to answer that.
We do very much appreciate the effort that started with the Washington process, which in very few months brought us together. And I think we are progressing very well on this. We hope to reach a win-win situation that will bring a lot of benefits, complementarity for the three nations. And we are moving in that direction. We hope to reach an amicable solution soon for this.
Yeah, if you would, because I had a deal done, and then they broke the deal, and they can't do that. They can't do that. So the deal was done, and it's a very dangerous situation because Egypt is not going to be able to live that way, and they'll end up blowing up the dam. And I said it, and I say it loud and clear. They'll blow up that dam, and they have to do something. So whatever you can do to get them, Ethiopia, to do that, they're going to have to, okay? And we've cut off all payment and everything else to Ethiopia. It was terrible. We were all set to sign a deal. It was negotiated for 5 years and longer than that. And they couldn't make the deal, and I got the deal done. And then they're getting ready to sign the deal, and they broke the deal, which is not good. So whatever you could do, Prime Minister, if you could, that would be great, okay? You tell them they got to get it done. And I'm telling Egypt the same thing, by the way, you know, because they could have stopped it. They should have stopped it long before it was started.
Do you see what I mean? Did you just watch the video of him threatening Ethiopia and actually signing it off? He was making it sound like it's so simple. They'll blow up the dam, like that dam holds water. This conversation was happening between Egypt and the US. As you know, the West supports Egypt along with Arab nations. They want Ethiopia to stop filling the dam, to use the Nile River. As you know, Ethiopia contributes 85% to the Nile, and even though 85% flows from Ethiopia, it flows through Sudan, it goes to Egypt, and as you also know, Egypt depends on the Nile, which they've been using for hundreds of years. So they want to continue using it. Ethiopia's argument is you'll continue to use it, but we want to benefit from it as well, because Ethiopia has not benefited from our own natural resource because there was never a dam there. There was never a way where Ethiopians could benefit from it. And unfortunately, right now, majority of Ethiopians don't have access to electricity, to clean water. So this is going to help a lot. It's also going to help Ethiopia economically. That is why Ethiopia is saying no to that decision. But Egypt obviously doesn't want to hear that. And they made it very clear. Now they're warning Ethiopia, especially now that Egypt and Somalia have a military agreement. It seems like Egypt is getting bold. But if you want a little bit to the background and why Egypt and Ethiopia are going at it, watch this clip. Nile comes, 80% of it comes from Ethiopia. It flows through Ethiopia and goes to Egypt and Sudan and all those countries. That doesn't necessarily mean that it just belongs to Ethiopia. All of us can share it. According to the international law, okay, let me take myself out of it. Ethiopia has every right to build that dam and use it as long as it doesn't harm the next country, which it's not. They have done their assessment, they have done their research. The dam already started and nothing has happened to Egypt or Sudan. So I just don't know what the big deal is. But I'm telling you, I found out what the big deal was eventually. Now, after this dam, once it starts with its full capacity in 2023, it's going to become even right now, it's the largest hydroelectric power plant right now even. But when it starts producing, no one can beat Ethiopia in Africa because we can get it for cheaper, we can sell it for other countries and get money. We need it, like our people need it. It's so sad if you hear like more than 60% of Ethiopians in the rural areas, they don't even have electricity, and we have the Nile. And Cairo, Egypt is like one of the richest countries in Africa, top 3, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So they are getting what they're getting from the Nile and they're changing their lives good. As of now, they also have hydroelectric plant, and that is doing well. So you see, but once Ethiopia is done and starts selling that and using that, that definitely is going to overshadow Egypt's dam, Egypt's hydroelectric, plans and all that. And I get it, even them, it's an economic move, but at the same time, come on. Ethiopians are suffering, they are poor, there's poverty when we have a natural resource like Nile. All Ethiopia is saying is, let us use this. While we don't want to harm you, let's negotiate in a way where we can all benefit. But then they keep saying, if you've seen the mainstream media, they keep saying Ethiopia keeps walking out of the agreements. Ethiopia keeps walking out. Yes, they have to take off and say, this is not the deal for me because of the deals that they are bringing to the table. Everybody's pressuring Ethiopia to make that decision. And two of the things that they keep pushing on Ethiopia is, you fill the dam in 20-30 years. You use the dam as per what we tell you. And Ethiopia is like, wait, what? That's my natural resource. I'll do as I please. As long as I'm not harming you, I'm going to do what I want. And they are not allowing that. So that's the main issue, because the Ethiopians and the Egypts and the Sudans can't agree. Sudan was on Egypt's side for the longest time. Now they are on Egypt's after that meeting, the Sudan, military transitional government that's still in power. I might remind you that he should have now given it to a democratic party, but no. So he went there, they had their meeting, and now all of a sudden Ethiopia is the enemy. It's just really, really unfortunate. And I told you, I try to be unbiased, but at the same time, I know the poverty in my country. I know how much this hydroelectric power is going to help Ethiopia. And for them to just disregard what it can do. Like, isn't it US, UN, EU that keep telling us, you need to get out of the poverty line, let's give you aid. They're okay in giving us money, but us, when we're trying to do it on our own and building a dam that we built with billions of dollars in donations from Ethiopians all over the world, us, when we try to do it our own way, with our own resources, now it's a big issue and we need to stop. Either they want us to be dependent or not, and it looks like they want us to be dependent. And the Arab Leagues, obviously, they are siding with Egypt. That's why they were telling UN, on Ethiopia and telling them, yo, just meddle in and stop this from happening. But Ethiopia said, nope, I'm not going to do that. Basically, Egypt is saying they want to protect and defend their rights, and Ethiopia is saying the same. We will wait and see what's going to unfold in the near future, but this is definitely bringing issues to the Horn of Africa. I am Wongel Zelalem. I'll see you on the next